like to introduce you to our leader for the first debate. Our leader is Mr. Craig. He is the latest teacher in children's secondary school. Thank you, Mr. Craig. The motion of the first debate is the teenager should be encouraged to daydream. On my right hand side is the affirmative team. They are from EPS. The first speaker is Jeff Chen. The second speaker is Yu Chen. The third speaker is Yu Hei. On my left-hand side is the negative. The first speaker is Li Ying Cherry. The second speaker is Lan Wei Sheng Christine. The third speaker is Wang Hui Shan Jing. Each speaker will speak for a maximum of 4 minutes and 15 seconds. There will be a single one-bell run at 3 minutes 20 seconds. Two-bell run at 4 minutes. And the bell will run continuously at 4 minutes 15 seconds. At which time, the speaker must take their seat. Now, I would like to call upon Jeff Chen, the first speaker for the affirmative team, to open his team's case.
Good afternoon, chairpersons, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. The motion for this debate is that teenagers should be encouraged to daydream. Define motion as follows. Currently, that teenagers do not daydream enough. According to following stationery, daydreaming is having large dream like fantasies and inquiry. In that, while you are awake, so daydreaming is imaginative. Daydreaming is serendipitous and is creative and healthy. We also define that teenagers are people who is in their age from 30 to 90 years old. This came from the same teacher. Besides, we also think encourage doesn't mean to take when to do daydreams. Not opposite thing already and encourage. So our team line is that daydreaming is effective in teenagers physically, mentally, and positively. Today, as the first speaker, I will be talking to you about daydreaming is healthy and creative. Our second speaker will be talking about daydreaming is imaginative and serendipitous. And our third speaker will point out mistakes and summarize our team case. Now I'm going to discuss this point. The first point is that daydreaming is beneficial to teenagers' health. Research of the University of Hong Kong has proven that daydreaming is kind of low-level cognition. One of the great examples is that mindfulness will make you happy. You will find it is easy to focus, and you will become more appreciative of the present. As all we know, happy is one of the issues to make teenagers mentally become healthy, and that's why daydreaming is beneficial to teenagers' health. Another example is that teenagers are totally wired to the internet in some form or another. Lessons in breaking away from the virtual reality everyone and required in order to better appreciate the present. It is purposeful that makes teenagers eventually become keeping healthy is important for teenagers. If teenagers can't keep themselves energetic, then they will become weary and lifestyle walking there. So like daydreaming can help teenagers developing their mind, Clearly, daydreaming is good. Clearly, daydreaming is good, and it is backed up by scientific organization. So the negative team will produce thoughts which conclude scientific evidence to contrary. So, ladies and gentlemen, for conclusion, once again, daydreaming is affecting teenagers physically, mentally, and positive. Today's motion must end. Thank you.
Now I would like to call Day2, the first speaker of the executive to begin her speech case.
Good morning, Chairperson, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. Today's motion is that teenagers should be encouraged to daydream. First, let me modify the definition presented by the affirmative fact. According to the London Dictionary, a teenager means someone who is between 13 and 19 years old, and they are developing into an adult. To daydream means to think about present things so that you forget what you should be doing. This is different from our opponent's definition. Our team believes the motion is false because teenagers have to be in the present moment and give their 100%. Which is what successful people do. The first speaker of the negative thing said that daydreaming is important for creativity. This is only partly true. In 2012, University of British Columbia researchers Melissa Ella found that it is the temporal lobe in the cortex that generates creative ideas, while the default network decides whether to like those ideas or not. So, daydreaming are not necessary for developing creativity. Now, I'm going to tell you that daydreaming has consequences. It leads to many bad results. Our second speaker, Christine, will talk about how daydreaming seriously affects the mental health of teenagers. Our third speaker, Celia, will sum up our case. No doubt, our opponents believe that daydream relaxes our minds and allows us to momentarily escape our current troubles and take us to someplace better. However, the truth is that it is a waste of time. It cannot solve the problems we are currently facing, since it is just imagination. Even when you are thinking about the future, the basis of the thought is what is arising right now. You are always in the present moment. We cannot know the things that will happen in the future. Then, how can daydreams help us solve problems in any truly reliable, effective way? Teenagers have many things to do, and they already lack sleep time because of their commitments. Why would they possibly need more time to daydream? And why should they be encouraged to waste time in daydreaming? Where is all this time coming from? Buddhists have a saying, do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, but concentrate your mind on the present moment. A successful person knows that now is the only time she can control. She doesn't waste time. She uses it. She understands that the past is the past. The future is what will happen when she is excelling in the present. She is always focused on the current moment and doesn't get lost in time. teenagers need to learn to concentrate on studying. If a teenager is daydreaming in the lesson, she won't know what the teacher is talking about and may fail the class. If teenagers do not give their 100%, they cannot be successful. To sum up, our team strongly believes that today's motion must not stand. Thank you.
Now, may I call upon Jin Chen, the second speaker of the affirmative team, to continue his team case.
Testing, 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 testing. Good morning, chairpersons, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. Today, our motion is that teenagers should be encouraged to daydream. We, the affirmative team, believe firmly that today's motion is true. And that you didn't forget our team line is that daydreaming is affecting teenagers physically, mentally, and positively. Before our team case, please allow me to point out some mistakes which is made by negative styles. The first speaker of theirs is trying to convince you that daydreaming is not helpful to build creativity. But we don't think it is true, because daydreaming is actually the essential part of creativity. According to the book Imagination, which is mentioned by our first speaker, more connection with brain is built while you are daydreaming. Therefore, your creativity is increasing while you are daydreaming. As our second speaker, my first point is that we claim that daydreaming is actually making teens gain more imaginations than usual. We can never reject that daydreaming is actually bringing us a lot of imaginations. For example, the famous painter Paul Cézanne painted a picture called Daydream in the end of 19th century. According to the featured article of ScienceBlog.com, the meaning of the picture is that life is a constant battle between being engaged with one's surroundings and daydreaming. This is also said from the same results that the painter is trying to express his daydream about spending a lazy afternoon with a beautiful and gorgeous lady. Sometimes masterpieces come out from daydreaming. It means more daydreams, more imaginations. We can see crystal clear that daydreaming is affecting teenagers positively. Not only in art aspect, we can also say that daydreaming is helpful in academic aspect. Why not? This is also why we claim that daydreaming is serendipitous activity. When we are doing something irregularly or even cluelessly, we could sometimes find something really great. Believe it or not, many great inventions and theories is formed in daydreaming. The most famous example is that the found of the Archimedes law, which is also known by abstracts. According to the literary work Ancient Greek Physics, that this is found in Archimedes' daydreaming. He was bathing and he was playing with a large piece of gold and another large piece of silver, and he found that when you put the silver into the bathtub, more water is floating out. Then he ran out of the bath and wrote down this magnificent theory. Yes, of course. He was naked at that moment. This is also showing that he's actually daydreaming. Back to our topic, there is no doubt that daydreaming is serendipitous. Also, there are some medical research written in the book Imagine, which is mentioned by our first speakers, says that daydreaming causes your brain's waves be produced when the ratio between two waves is proper. More connections between nerve cells is built. Once again, our team life is that physically, mentally, and positively, daydreaming is helping teenagers in its own way. Thank you.
Now, may I call upon? Now, may I call upon Lam Wing Shang Steve, the second speaker of the next team, to continue the stage.
President. Good morning, Chairperson, educators, ladies and gentlemen. As the second speaker of the next team, first I want to make some rebuttals. The affirmative team said that positive scenario or better preparation in case for help. As a psychological theory in 1950 warned against daydreaming, or else people will be trapped in some sort of psychotic state of mind. They also said that daydreaming can help teenagers focus on concentrate on the specific task. Spacing out during important meeting or school may cause you lost food for information. The first speaker, Terry, has told us that the effect of losing focus and forgetting important information that may lead teens to get into the trouble for their learning. Now, I'm going to talk more about the consequence of daydreaming. Daydreaming is building a castle in the air, which means daydreaming is just a fantasy which has no connection to reality. Many teenagers get away or escape from their problems through daydreaming. As a result, daydreaming becomes a tool for them to avoid facing the truth, and not facing the truth is really bad for them. Teenage years are the time in which we develop the skills we need in adulthood. In this process, what teenagers need are challenges to help them, and they should pay more effort on their work, especially study. Also, daydreaming can become addictive. Daydreaming will produce dopamine in the brain, and an overexposure to dopamine will affect their health. According to the magazine Scientific American, this will cause teenagers to not be able to concentrate on their work, and can even lead to a disease, maladaptive daydreaming. Maladaptive daydreaming is a psychological disorder in which people spend hours daydreaming. Eli Sommer, a professor of clinical psychology in Israel, first described it as an extensive fantasy activity that replaces human interaction and interfere with academic, interpersonal, or vocational functioning. Maladaptive daydreamers also may have trouble getting out of bed or going to sleep due to want to continue the daydreaming. Oftentimes, while maladaptive daydreamers are daydreaming, they will whisper, talk, make face expression, or do some sort of repetitive movement. They may also have more than one fantasy in their mind, each with its own characters, setting, thoughts, etc. Maladaptive daydreamer may become emotionally attached to the character as well, though they know the characters are not real. True that, maladaptive daydreaming seems to be so far to teenagers as they were just only daydreaming for some times. Its opportunity to lead them to get this disease seems to be so tiny. But today's motion is about to encourage teenagers to daydreaming. If we encourage them, the opportunity to let them to this disease actually should be increased at the same time, as I mentioned before, because this will become addictive. Because teenagers need to concentrate on schoolwork and practical preparation for the future, time spent on daydreaming is time wasting at best. and dangerous to the mental health at worst. Therefore, our team believes that today's motion must not stand. Thank you.
Now, may I call point Yu Hei, the third and final speaker of the affirmative team, to conclude his team's case.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, before I start my rebuttals and my going on to my points, there's something I would like to ask all of you. What is something that you encourage to teens? I bet it's something positive. And that is what the base of our arguments today. We believe that daydreaming is positive for teenagers and therefore it should be encouraged to teens. Let's go through what our team has said. The first speaker of our team has said that teenagers doesn't daydream enough nowadays. And then what we're referring to encourage is that they're not forced. They're just told that daydreaming is something pretty good, and they should try and do it maybe on their own time, on their own accord. And our first speaker also has said that it is beneficial to teens' health not only in terms of physical health and also to mental health. And to rebut that, the negative speaker has said that according to the Normal Dictionary, their cause for teenage is for developing and preparing for adulthood, and that daydreaming is not beneficial because you forget what you're doing, and also that you have to be successful. In order to be successful, you must pay a lot of attention into what your current work. We believe that that is actually not very true because daydreaming is actually a part of the human. According to what the first our second speaker, what the studies here refer to. All of these studies have pointed out that daydreaming is actually an essential part to the human psychology, which helps us to focus more on different things, and giving us more capacity and memory to focus on our work. And on to the points where the second speaker has said is that it is affecting daydreaming is actually positively affecting teens' physical and mental health. And the same negative speaker also said that you have to be continuously conscious, and which also pointed out by according to the studies which have been pointed out by our second speaker, in reality, it is practically impossible for a human to stay awake and conscious 100% of our lives. And actually, we almost spend 1/3 of our life daydreaming unconsciously. And also, there's one very important point I would like to elaborate a bit on our second speaker, is that there is one thing different from mindfulness and meditation from daydreaming. That is that what I was saying to say, it is very essential because you need a good balance of the two in order to be healthy in physical and mental in the two criteria. Once again, our team line is that healthy, creativity, and imagination and serendipitous. Daydreaming benefits teens in the two aspects, physical and mentally. And that it's very obvious that even the negative thing that's very today's social science.
Wong Hui Shan, Syria. The third and final speaker of the executive team conclude the team's case.
Good morning, Chairperson, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. Before I conclude my team's case, let me report some of the arguments made by our opponents. The affirmative team has tried to tell us that daydreaming can help teenagers to think positively. In fact, there are many types of daydreaming such as catastrophe, victory, hiding, sex, or revenge. Who can say whether teenagers are thinking a variety of ways can solve problems either a positive way or a negative way? They also try to tell us that teenagers can always pay efforts for preparing adulthood. Of course, everyone should have the time to rest, but to rest is definitely a natural thing that all of us will do. So what we should be doing is to encourage teenagers to do something unnatural instead of daydreaming, like taking. You have heard our first speaker, Cherry, explain that daydreaming is a time-wasting activity. What teenagers should be doing is giving their wholehearted effort to the things they must do at present. Daydreaming can be harmful to your way of life if you do it too much. There is no doubt that daydreaming can help generate creative ideas, but it can cause you to lose focus and forget important information. A study done by National Institutes of Health, a biomedical research facility in the United States, have shown us that poor sleep quality leads to more frequent daydreaming and also be linked to impaired memory, slower reaction time, impaired attention, and intrusive daydreaming. For teenagers now, learning and studying is the best use of their time. Daydreaming will make them miss the perfect opportunity for learning new knowledge or skills and even affect their performance about learning in negative ways. Being in the present moment also brings any of us lots of general benefits, such as making cravings easier to overcome. When we focus on what we are doing now, we won't be thinking about bad cravings like smoking or drinking, maintaining perfect self-control for the rest of your life. Dr. Eric Langer has also pointed out that greatest danger of daydreaming is dwelling on something you want but should not have that make it harder for you to resist pursuing it. Daydreaming, considered as a natural response, then why do we have to encourage teenagers to daydream? In contrast, we should encourage them to do something unnatural, like learning to concentrate on their work. As our second speaker, Christine, has mentioned that many people, including teenagers, use daydreaming as a way to escape from their reality or from difficult moments. Daydreaming can provide a quick method to get away from reality. It can be quite harmful to the mental health of teens who are having negative thoughts. While some people daydream about desirable fantasy, others might be daydreaming about doing harm to themselves or others. Can the affirmative team ensure that everyone daydreams positively? What about a suicidal person driving along the road and daydreaming about crashing into a tree? Christine has also told us that addictive disease, maladaptive daydreaming. If teens suffer from this disease, it may affect teenagers' development and especially disrupt their studies. So ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, there are more negative aspects for teens to daydreaming, and that the motion for today must not stand. Thank you.
That is the end of the first debate. I would like to thank both teams and their coach for their involvement in the debate. May I now invite our judge to give some comments on debaters' performance.